Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And by the time you're seeing this, it's probably already August. I usually record my videos on a Monday, as in literally I record everything on Monday and then edit it throughout the night. And then I post it on the scheduled days that you see on my banner. Unfortunately, because of that, sometimes my upload schedule gets screwed up, especially if the Monday happens to fall on the last day of the month. In which case, by the time the new month rolls around, especially on Master Duel, it would already be a new season for at least the rank ladder. So for this week, once again, there will not be a Dinosaur Weekly, and by the time you're seeing this, again, it will already be August. Although, I will have posted something to fill in the gap for the time being. I think I have a collection of replays, and really old replays by this point, for just to basically fill in the gap while we don't have Dinosaur Weekly for just Tuesday. But for now, we will be in the casual rooms today because I will be rocking Witchcrafters. This is a fan favorite archetype, and this is my waifu archetype of choice. Yes, and it's look. There's no denying it's because of Madame VERRE. That smug expression is what got me into this archetype in the first place. So the overview of this archetype, as you can see, it's like 70% spell cards. This archetype cares about spell cards and how you use and abuse them, and hell, even recycle them. To go over the card by card is actually honestly pretty simple. Because the the two best low-level ones, Jenny and Schmeta, they they tribute themselves and discard a spell card to summon a high-level Witchcrafter from the deck, and then they do a thing. And then the Witchcrafter spells are also honestly pretty straightforward. Creation here. Oh, right. All of the Witchcrafter spells, they all have a shared effect where if they're in the graveyard, but you did not use them that turn, they just go back to your hand as long as you control a Witchcrafter monster. So this entire archetype is basically one giant resource loop in service of getting to one of your three boss monsters here, well, main deck-wise, and then beat your opponent with, are those staves? Or basically mostly working tools. Yeah, Haynes is seamstress, so there's that. VERRE is like the only proper well, she is the headmaster of Witchcrafter by Street, so there's that. Did you know that she's actually affiliated with Endymion? Of all people, you know, VERRE, Endymion, and Alistair, like they all know each other, and they're all like buddies. If I remember correctly, they all like studied in the same academy, and then VERRE wanted eternal youth, and then well, she got it. So there's that. I could keep going with the Witchcrafter lore, but this deck is, well, admittedly, more on the lower power side of things. The build, by the way, is what it is. You see the 3 copies of Twin Twister series, because the casual rooms is apparently the place to see Psyframes be at full working capacity for some reason. Psyframes are not that good a deck either, as in pure Psyframes, because Psyframes basically ask the question, what if our entire deck is all hand traps, and Psyframes make that work. But for me at least, it's a little too slow when you do try to bring it in the rank ladder. But otherwise, it's a menace in the casual rooms. So to go over the specifics, Jenny, her graveyard effect is by the way, she's also the best looking Witchcrafter that isn't Madame VERRE. Just throwing it out there. Jenny, she can banish herself from the graveyard, and then you can banish herself along with one Witchcrafter spell, and you know, she basically becomes a secondary copy of any of your Witchcrafter spells. We'll get to them in a bit. Then Schmeta is a Foolish Burial Goods for the Witchcrafter spells of note. Foolish Burial Goods by itself is not in this list. Then again, it should be, but I have Triple Tactics Talent in that slot instead because we don't have an Ash Blossom. And then, yeah, those are all the low-level ones. You could also consider the 2 others, Pitore and, oh god, who's the other one? We're gonna do this right now. There are also like 2 other low-level Witchcrafters. Yeah, Pittore and Pottery. But these two aren't really used that often, and they're usually cut when you want to make this deck more optimal. And then Edel is also another one of those high-level witchcrafters that honestly doesn't get used that often because she's basically a monster reborn for the archetype, but she's basically way too slow, too situational, even as a one of. Hain and Verre, even Aruru, these three high-level witchcrafters are honestly all you really need. And then, while we have this up here, we're going to go over the specific witchcrafter spells that I am running in this deck. Three witchcrafter creation, a once per turn Rota. This searches any of your witchcrafter monsters, so you can use this to search, hell, even the high-level ones and or any of the low level ones should you need it. And it's also a great Ash Blossom bait, so there's that. Witchcrafter Holiday, this is basically the archetypal monster reborn. Witchcrafter Collaboration, this basically your OTK tool, and it also surprisingly gives protection during the combat step, so there's that. And then Confusion Confession. This is actually the newest piece of support, and the very memeable Hain face right there. This is actually the fusion spell for the archetype, which creates a Vice Madame here, where Hain basically takes over the Vice trait temporarily because Verre went MIA for some reason. It's not explained in the lore yet as to why Verre suddenly went up and out and then left Hain in charge. Hain needs a break, alright? That's like the hashtag in the Witchcrafter Discord. Hain needs a break, okay? She is like the most hardworking yet also the most overworked member of the group. She needs a break, damn it. Then the two continuous spells here, Buy Street and Scroll, they both essentially say that they have a shared effect where rather than discarding a spell in your hand, you can use these two continuous spells instead. Although they do have specific effects. Buy Street has two other effects where this gives a sort of a one-time protection from battle or card effect destruction. There we go. I cannot speak right now. Holy shit. Then again, the coffee is probably just starting to kick in. And then they also share a end phase effect, where if it's in the graveyard, same with the spells. If you have a witchcrafter, they just plop it, rather than put themselves in the hand, they will be put on the field instead. And then Witchcrafter Scroll, it has a once per turn draw card. Like, it's soft once per turn, by the way, so if you have multiples, you can just stack them all. And also, that's the spell counters thing that the Endymion Academy has. Interesting. And I think this belongs to the spell books. Holy crap! Or I think there's also an Endymion pendant. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, these scrolls right here, these are exclusively Witchcrafter items. Lore, okay, I am very, very in tune with the lore of this game, or at least in-game lore. Then Draping, this is the archetypal Harpies. Well, it's not really a feather duster because it just returns all of the spell traps your opponent controls to the hand. You see here Hain doing her thing. This is also why she's one of the most beloved characters in this archetype. And then Unveiling, this is a searchable special summon. Basically, if you have any of your high-level witchcrafters stuck in hand, you can use this to pretty much unbrick it. Then they're just plopped onto the field. And you will have games where either Madame Verre or Hain are in your hand, and you'd rather use Unveiling to just plop them onto the field, just to get your game started. Another card that is in this deck, some builds don't even have anymore. Patronus. This is the continuous trap. It's just a recycling tool. You can also just send this to the graveyard and then banish it, although it has to have been there for a turn before you do so. Then you can recycle any of your banished Witchcrafter spells, usually the ones that have been banished by Jenny here. And then we move on to the newest card in this archetype, Vice Madame, just Hain taking her pseudo rightful place as the leader of the Witchcrafter by Street, and then poor Edel here basically handling the paperwork that Hain used to do. Although of note, the thing that has a lot of people's attention here is Jenny and Hain here holding hands. for some reason. They're totally just friends, guys. They're just friends, okay? And then it has a once per turn pop. Unfortunately, Vice Madame does not have a negate, which is why this deck is more on the casual side rather than the competitive side. You could try to make this competitive. There are like 60 card versions of this with that grass looks greener, and then the Witchcrafters are supplemented by some other archetype, usually of the Spellcaster variant. There you can hell even put. I'm not quite sure if Pendulum Magicians can work alongside the Witchcrafters, but otherwise you can experiment as you will. But I'm going to play this pure and the generic stuff, Effect Veiler, because we have a Selene line. Reasoning, because I don't have 3 copies of That Grass Looks Greener, and also because That Grass Looks Greener is limited to 2. Reasoning does a good enough impression, although once your opponent catches on with what you're doing, usually naming level 4 is more than enough. Although, granted, you would want Shmeta in your graveyard anyway, so I think naming level 4 is just fine. Then Triple Tactics Talent, because we don't have Ash Blossom or Called by the Grave. We want to keep our deck as tight. I wanted to keep the deck as tight as possible, so I managed to cut it down to 40 from the original 45. And then for the extra deck, 3 copies of Vice Madame, because our extra deck space is honestly not that tight. Although having 3 Vice Madame is it's overkill, but I want to show this card off, even just once. That would be a moral victory in my book if I manage to show off what Vice Madame does at least once. And then the other generic extra deck stuff, Lyrics Assembled Nightingale, because we have only a handful of level 1s, but it's something to keep in the back pocket. Same with Abyss Dweller and Downward Magician. This is the Nightingale into Downward into Zeus line, and then the 2 generic level 4 Xyz and Tornado Dragon and Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is still here because in spite being tier limit, being gutted to Kingdom Come, they're still all over the place, even in the casual rooms. And then for the links, the one is Anima, because sucking up a monster is it's a good gotcha moment. It never gets old. And then the link climbing line from Phoenix into Unicorn into Selene, or Phoenix into Selene or Phoenix into Unicorn. Either one is fine, whichever suits your need. Usually you go with Selene is only like a secondary option, because if you don't need the removal Unicorn provides, you can just go into Selene if you know it's safe. And then Access Code Talker as a secondary finisher. So yeah, that was this extremely scuffed deck, but with the Witchcrafters here, and let's start casting some spells in the casual rooms. I'm going first, so that's always Gucci. Let's see what our opening hand entails, and this is actually pretty nice. Shmeta as a way to start things off, and then Aruru as a once per turn bounce. So this is also like good Ash Blossom bait here. Shmeta, you could try it now, opponent. Okay, no you don't. Okay, Shmeta, she tributes herself. We will discard Draping because we don't need that at the moment. Okay, then we just go into Madame Verre. I mean, this is always the correct choice. And then again, you could go into Hain, but that depends on the texture of your hand. And our hand is not that good, but it's decent at least. We could go for Aruru, or rather we at least have Aruru, so we have sort of insurance against some of the more problematic stuff our opponent could have for us. Then we're just gonna set Twin Twisters and hope to God that I basically have like 4 points of interaction for my opponent here, so let's see if it's more than enough. Okay, then yeah, buy street does its thing, and then Draping goes back to hand. So let's see if my opponent can fight through this. I mean, this looks innocuous, but believe me, this is pretty goddamn optimal for a Witchcrafter board. You can even go certain turns where you just summon 1 monster, and then you can just do your thing from there. Foolish Burial Goods is usually not a good sign. They could have setups, or they could set up something. Okay, Mobilize Engage. We are in for a bad time. I'd wonder why you are bringing Sky Strikers into the casual rooms, but I guess you just want to practice without any consequences. So yeah, Maneuver. Yep, he will definitely get rid of VERRE here, so we don't have a negate anymore. Oh no. Wait, wouldn't Aruru do her thing here? She should. That's still why. when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a spellcaster or targets it for an attack, you can target a card your opponent controls or a witchcrafter spell in your graveyard. Special summon this, return a targeted card to your hand. That's fine? Question mark. Unless my opponent is still gonna do something here, I am still not being given. Okay, VERRE will be destroyed. Surprisingly, didn't even give me a chance to activate Aruru here. I don't know why. We will see how this is going to resolve. Although, we do have an effect veiler, so that's at least a one of... Oh, right, because, at least I have a Witchcrafter Bystrate, so there's that. Wait, doesn't, well, we can just negate that using, effect veiler, rather than use VERRE here. Let's see. Let me just check. Let me read the wording on, some maneuver. Target, yeah, it targets. Why wasn't I given a chance to activate Aruru there? Oh well. At least we stopped Kagari here with effect veiler, so there's that. So I really love that animation that he gave effect veiler. Just a bubble of negation. Then I'm assuming he will. Well, he shouldn't attack because the Sky Striker aces they can only attack directly if and only if they are not negated. So let's see what else they're gonna do here. Okay, going in for the direct attack, sure. We will stop you. I will discard... I guess I should discard Draping, or do I discard Bystrate? I think I should discard Draping, since they're not gonna be setting anything for now. And then... ooh... Yep, at least I forced them to use that. So that's something. Oh, now you're gonna give me Aruru. Okay, we will return Hayate back to your hand because we can. And unfortunately, I will not be ending up with anything on board to, or rather, at least in hand to activate the Twin Twisters. So that's a bad. Oh god, I cannot English right now. I don't know what I need to say, but I know I should say it. Basically, when it switches over, I don't have anything in hand to pitch to Twin Twisters here. Let's just hope that what I did is good enough to slow them down. Although they do only have 2 cards in hand, because they were not able to recycle, mobilize, engage. So I think we still sort of got this. No, we do not. He will revive something. He's going to revive Effect Veiler. I'm assuming he's going to go into a Link 2, but we will see. Let's see what else my opponent is going to do here. Just surrenders. Okay, we take wins like this where we can get them. Next duel. On the die roll, going first. Yeah, that's always nice. Let's see what we get here. This isn't too bad. So, but starting with Jenny is sort of not good because I'd rather this be Shmeta. But I guess we take what we can get around these parts. Oh, that was allowed. Sure. That happens, and it's always a good way to start with Madame VERRE herself. Okay, then we just plop the scrolls down, and then we will have access to only 1 negate. It's a board-wide negate, at least. So there's that. So let's see if my opponent will have something here. Although I could have just put the scroll in the graveyard because it records itself back anyway, and then I would have Draping as spell trap removal. But usually in the blind, you don't want to set stuff like Twin Twisters and other similar effects, because in the blind you have absolutely no idea what your opponent could be on, especially in the best of 1 format like Master Duel. But let's see what our opponent has for us here. Okay, just going to stand by main 1. Alright, let's see what you have here, opponent. What could you possibly have? Okay, Dark Magical Circle. That is... we're gonna use this now, because why not? So we're gonna draw at least maybe 2 cards. We're gonna see here. Okay, Gunning Soul Servant. All right. My opponent is gonna combo off for a while, because it's Dark Magician combos. Well, combos in quotation marks. We have no idea how far they can potentially extend They're just sending OG Dark Magician. All right, this is about as pure as a Dark Magician get as you're gonna get, unless they have something else that I do not know about. Okay, just going to that, sure. And I'm assuming they're going to banish VERRE here because banishing the scroll. That's interesting. The Dark Magic Circle banishes only like once per turn, so they wasted a oh my god, they wasted a banish with Magical Circle there. They should have banished VERRE instead. Oh my god, that was a mistake and a half. Although they are under max C, so they could just shoot their shot, just do their thing and try to kill me here. But otherwise, VERRE can defend herself surprisingly well. So this is gonna take a while. Well, at least on my opponent's side, it's gonna take a while. They're gonna go into the dragon. Yeah, Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. This is the one that's unaffected, right? Hold on. Let me read. Damage cannot target spells or traps you control. Regard effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed. That's completely fine. I will just negate your Dark Magician here when it comes back around to it. Okay, I was gonna just cut to whatever my opponent's gonna do next, but I guess this is fine. Okay, I don't really plan on destroying your stuff anyway. I'll bounce them back to hand using draping. Okay, Soul Servant, yep, you stacked your deck properly so that you can have a bond between teacher and student as the top card of your deck. Alright, you draw that, and then what else you're gonna do? Alright, you do that too. If you control the Dark Magician, you can set a signature spell. Alright, what else are you gonna do here? Right, you just summon the DMG instead. Sure. Or you can summon, okay, Dark Burning Magic. If you control, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Sure, why not? Let's see what else are you gonna do here. End fit. Wow, you're not even gonna attack. You're gonna give me this. Thanks, opponent. I think they may have made a mistake. We're gonna see how bad it is now. We're gonna do this first. We're gonna summon Shmeta. Then, okay, using Eternal Soul. I'm assuming he's going to do that now. We're gonna try something here. We can target his back row anyway, so there's that. We can discard the creation because they could activate a monster effect here, unless it's not a monster effect. Draping does sort of help because this will allow, they cannot be destroyed, they cannot be targeted either, but I think if we get rid of the Dark Magician of what is the original name, Dark Magician Dragon Knight, if we get rid of that, we do stand a better chance. So there's that. So we're gonna use Shmeta's effect. There we go. Do you have something else? No, you do not. We're going to send the other scroll. There we go. It's usually good to send the scrolls off of your other effects right before you proceed. Okay, then we just move into combat. Hane, get in there. You're gonna kill this thing. No. One thing that you need to remember. VERRE's pump effect. Yeah, there we go. Good thing it's highlighted because VERRE's the second effect here, where it increases the attack and defense by 1,000, it only triggers on damage calculation, or rather it shows up on damage calculation, and here we are right here. So now we're gonna do this, then we're gonna show him 2 cards, 1 and 2, so that's a 2,000 point boost, and this is the reason why Witchcrafters were semi-viable for a time in Duel Links, because of shit like this. Okay, now we can return stuff to hand. I think I'd rather return Eternal Soul. Yeah, if it leaves the field, anytime it leaves the field, or we can remove Dark Magical Circle instead. But I think removing Eternal Soul is more important here. Then we should also put back this card, or whatever this is. Yep, that's completely fine. Use Special Summon, that's again also fine. I don't think they will be activating any more monster effects, so I think just discarding triple attack here will do us better compared to just doing anything else. Alright, we're gonna destroy Dark Magical Circle because you presented us with the opportunity, opponent. Then let's see what else are we gonna do. We could go like 7 deep. There was a duel off cam that happened recently where we got the chain up to like 9. Sad that I wasn't recording, but we got the chain all the way up to 9. Oh wait, yeah, I was playing Runix if I remember correctly. So there's that. We got the chain up to 9, and that's yeah. You should have seen that one coming, opponent. You are dieted. You will be dieted soon. So we're gonna do the Jenny. Do we do the Jenny thing? Yes. Because creation is a 3 of in the deck anyway, so we can afford to lose 1 to 2 copies. Okay. So there's that. And then, although we will only end up with no, we already have both scrolls, or rather both continuous spells in the graveyard anyway. So I think just getting doing that to get Aruru is more than enough here. Okay. Yep. Buy straight. Wait, just buy straight. God, we have far less than I thought. But a board wide negate is honestly not what we really need. Haynes once per turn pop is honestly far more important. Then Aruru's bounce, yeah. We have this sort of in the bag. I'm assuming they're setting Eternal Soul again. Okay, piercing the darkness. If a normal or special summon a non-token normal monster, you can draw 1 card when in attack. Blah blah blah. You can make the monster gain attack equal. That's fine. We're not gonna do that one just yet. The Dark Magician Dragon Knight has been like killed twice this turn. Holy shit. Okay, end phase. We're gonna destroy. I'm assuming this is Eternal Soul. It can't possibly be anything else. Oh, we can't target anything else. That is interesting. What is giving that? Oh, because I forgot that it only destroys face-up cards. It only destroys face-up cards. I completely forgot that was the thing. Wow, you are basically fucking yourself over just as well, opponent. That is not what you would want to happen around here. But you know, so he has slowed this duel down to a crawl. So there's that. I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point, whenever that'll be. Okay, we're back, and my opponent surrendered when I drew Twin Twisters and popped their background. Well, we take wins like this around here. But then again, we are just in the casual room, so that's bound to happen. Next duel. Won the die roll at least, so there's that. What does our... Oh, my opponent's rocking S4 slaves, so I am already quaking in my boots, but our hand is not that good. Our one of triple tactics talent is in hand. I'd rather that be, or rather, I'd rather have one of these other monsters be a spell instead. But we take stuff where we can get them, unfortunately. So we just do our thing here. All right. I'm not expecting too many Ash Blossoms in the casual rooms, because this is, again, the casual rooms after all. We'll at least guarantee 1 Witchcrafter spell in rotation here. But I am not confident about our odds. I think I'd rather have, well, not creation. Thank goodness. Actually, no, we're gonna get confusion because we have a critical mass of Witchcrafters anyway, and we can use that for much later. And we'll be able to show, if our opponent allows it, we'll at least be able to show off Vice Madame here at least once. But for now, we have we have 2 negates at least, but we don't have spell trap interaction. Although if my opponent's rocking S4 sleeves, he is he's playing Magic Key. I thought he was playing S-Force. That you are confusing the fuck out of me here, opponent. Okay, now he's getting Clavikeys using Magic Key World. I honestly have absolutely no idea how this deck works. Although I do know that Mafti is the linchpin of the deck. This acts both as a ritual spell and as a fusion spell. So they could pop off pretty hard here, but VERRE is really good answer to monster-based chicanery. So my opponent's gonna combo off for a while. I have no idea how or when it will end, but he is even playing a Dark Magician engine. Great. I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point. Okay, we're back, and we will do the thing. Alright, Witchcrafter Confusion Confession. Will you allow? Okay, we will summon Vice Madame. Use Jenny and Hane, of course. Oh, we could have used another spellcaster. That is interesting. I thought it was just exclusively witchcrafter materials. I forgot about that. Yeah, it just needs a witchcrafter and one other spellcaster. That is Gucci. Right. Now what do we have in the graveyard? Another confusion confession, but I don't think we need to activate that more than once. The mech mortar is only 100 smaller than the one that we have on field, so go on, opponent. Gain attack. You can destroy one card. We will destroy one card, sir. Yes, I would like to destroy one card. Or do we summon a monster, or do we add a witchcrafter spell trap? I think I'd rather destroy a card. I'd rather destroy a card. All right. Okay, He's forced to negate. Sure, sure, sure. And we don't have any other negates anyway. So yeah, she's destroyed. That's fine. See, this is why Vice Madame is not that good a card. But it's waifu, okay? This is my waifu deck of choice. Damn it! I will play with it for this video. God, if she had a negate, it would probably be too good. But they could have done something better with this. But that's neither here nor there. We are doing what we're doing here. At the very least, we can still survive against Mech Mortar until we draw into a better monster. So yeah, we will take another cut until the next interesting point. Okay, we're small update. I was gonna say we're back, but well, technically it's also correct. We're gonna use Witchcrafter Creation here. We're gonna try and search for a low-level Witchcrafter, preferably Shmita, because we desperately need a shuffle here. And also, it works as a discard for Metal Foes Fusion here. Just a one-of. It's just a really cheesy draw engine that certain Witchcrafter decks run. Because it's free to do so. So we're gonna summon Shmita, we're gonna activate Shmita. We're still not going to. I have been patient. I'm not attacking with VERRE here, even though I know that she will be able to hit over the mech mortar, but I'd rather save it for Hane. So there's that. Okay, what else are you gonna do, opponent? This is making them. It's making them seem like they have something. So there's that. Okay, we're gonna use Malifaux's Fusion. We will just draw one card. I have been aching for something better than what I currently have. Ooh, that's actually really nice. We're gonna thin our deck some more. We're gonna banish Shmita. Okay. I've only managed to reduce my opponent's life total by 800 points up until now, so there's that. We're gonna get one of the scrolls, or do we just get a collaboration? But I think getting one of the scrolls is better. Okay, and then we will go into combat. Okay, let's do our battle phase shenanigans here, opponent. Let's see who comes out on top. And also, this is a rulings nightmare IRL because stat changing rules are extremely confusing in Yu-Gi-Oh! So there's that. Okay, he gains that. Now we move on to the battle step. I think that was the beginning of combat, if I remember correctly. Yeah, piercing the darkness. Yeah, beginning of combat. Then now we're at the battle step. And then now we are at damage calculation. 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's exactly 400 over. I still win the combat war. Or rather the damage war. Oh my god. Yeah, 5,400. Yep, 400. And the mortar's gone, finally. And then we can even get rid of one of these should we need to do so. He hasn't been using the 2 back row that has been dormant in his spell trap zones for a while now, so I have no idea if they're even useful in this situation or if he's expecting some other form of competition. But here we are against Magic-E, and one thing I've noticed with dueling with this deck, it takes a while. So we will skip to the next interesting point once again. Okay, after 84,000 years, my opponent surrendered to the might of the Witchcrafters. Oh boy, that was a duel and a half. I would show you the logs here. So we managed to get into a four chain deep battle here, where they basically fought when they tried to resolve Anshalabolas here, as it's basically a search or a recycler, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's a recycler for the Magiki Mafti, whichever. And then I tried to negate it, but they used a Magic Key Battle as a way to make their chicanery be unaffected by VERRE's negation, and then they basically forced the issue, and I destroyed Anshalabolas. And then they surrendered when it came back around to me. So yeah, that's a victory for the Witchcrafters. Next duel. Oh, I've been winning die rolls, but my victories are 50-50, and my opponent's rocking a thicker deck than usual here. Oh dear. This is decent. We do at least have Schmeta as a starter, but we could potentially just, everything could crumble right here, right now. Depending on what my opponent could potentially have. But we're gonna see laundry. Yeah, no, I'm gonna no up piece yet. You have to do your work there. Toad, what do you got? Nope. Yeah, you just do your thing there. Let's ring those city lights, and let's activate the Dark Magician's slab. Opponent's racking a 55 card deck, although 15 cards in extra deck. So let's see what our opponent could potentially have here. Okay, Schmeta, get in there. And at 1800, Schmeta is also a surprisingly formidable attacker. In Duel Links, Witchcrafters are usually paired with Lightsworns because of the levels they provide. At least with the ones in not Master Duel. In Duel Links, the Witchcrafters that are available there, we don't have creation there yet, but we do have everything else, and the ones that we do have form the backbone of a surprisingly decent combo deck in Duel Links. So there's that. But they're not they don't show up as much these days compared to way back when, unfortunately, although I still love playing with that deck from time to time. So there's that. But our opponent did manage to stop us here, and we will get a... Oh wait, we already have an unveiling in the graveyard, and oh god, I shouldn't do that. We'll send creation instead. Then again, if creation did exist in Duel Links, it would probably make the Witchcrafter deck way too good. So we just have a hope and a dream here, although we do have Max C, and cards that, or rather decks that reach more than 40 cards are usually bullshit combo decks. So we're gonna see what our opponent has for us here. It could literally be anything. Feather Duster, great. At the very least, we have a Max C, so there's that. Max C, well, everything is still on the chain here. Alright, nothing. Cool. I mean, we could potentially just stop their turn right here, right now. Let's see here. Yep, get rid of my Twin Twisters. That is not important in this conversation at the moment. What is important is whatever it is you're gonna do here with your 4 cards while you are under Max C. Alright, Monster Reborn. You will allow me to draw 1 card at least. But if you're going to revive... Okay, reviving Ash Blossom. Very likely as a blocker, because Ash Blossom has an 1800 defense in attack position. That is bold, sir. Alright. Oh, Moye. Okay, you have my attention. Why would you... Okay, it's just an extra thick Sword Soul deck, question mark. What are you going to do with 2 tuners? You could make a level 7, you could make a level 8. The world is your oyster, opponent. But I am... If I have no idea what their combo line is. Okay, just still going for Chi Shao. This is like normal Sword Soul shenanigans. I will just draw cards here. I don't have an Ash Blossom, so whatever it is you're gonna do, just do it, opponent. We will be back. But then again, it is his turns, and they're going second, so I could just die right here if they manage to summon like a Cheng Ying or other similar synchro monsters. So we will be back at the either at the end of the duel or at the start of my turn. See you guys there. Okay, so small update here. My opponent is going into combat now with just 5,800 points of damage. I have no idea why he wasn't able to set up a board that will kill me, but he did make me draw like 6 cards, if I'm counting this correctly. But we're gonna see here. We will try to at least bait the Baron de Fleur negation. because the negation she has is only once per turn, or rather once while she is face up. So there's that. Oh, she allows that. Cool. She they're saving the negation for my turn, which I could potentially fight through because I have triple tactics talents. So we're gonna see here. We are still oh god, that is not Gucci in the slightest. Although we at least have Schmita, and we have 2 copies of Creation, so we stand a chance against this board. We're gonna go with seasoning first. Let's see what kind of seasoning we can get here. They have already seen that I run Witchcrafters, so they could they again, naming level 4 against a deck that uses reasoning is almost always correct, because level 4 is the most common. Why are you going to make me mill as many cards as possible? That is not how you play against me, opponent. You gave me a free monster. You not fought against Witchcrafters? Oh my god. You literally just gave me free material here. Oh my god. Do we just go for buy street? I don't think we do. We discard one of the creations, and then let's see what we get here. We go into Madame VERRE here. In attack or defense? Usually setting her in defense is the correct choice. I mean, she is in that pose, where she would be in permanent defense mode. And we do this. We get Schmita down. That's fine. He is not doing anything yet. Then we're gonna grab Hane. We're gonna discard Buy Street, or do we discard Creation? I think we discard the other Creation, because we will literally have everything in hand by the time we are done. Unless my opponent activates a negation here, which is also a possibility. So we'll just discard this. The Creation basically is a stand-in for Aruru, or rather represents a copy of Aruru when we get to it. Okay, that happened. Do we bait it now? No, we don't. We're gonna use Schmita. We're gonna banish her. Does this bait the negation? Okay, he is being very, very patient here. We will send another one of the scrolls. Oh, we already have both scrolls. I guess we should just send Holiday. Okay. And then do we do this now? Yeah. We're gonna use Creation here, since we only really need one spell to be able to hit over any of his monsters. Then we'll grab Aruru. Okay. Now we are more than ready to go into combat here. Okay. Jenny, do we search something else, or do we revive something? I don't think we need anything else, fortunately. So yeah, we just go into combat. Then we will attempt to hit over Baron de Fleur. Okay. Declared combat, sure. I'm assuming he's going to use either Chi or damage calc. Attempt to increase Hane's attack by 1,000 points. Okay, cool. That happens. That is something that why was I not given a chance to react? I don't know why. VERRE. Okay, yep. I don't know why I wasn't given a chance to react to that. Is it only during the combat phase? I don't know. That's like one of the more confusing things with YuGiOh, where they say you could activate it during a certain time window, but unfortunately you don't. So yeah, we just lost this one. We're just gonna move on to the end screen. Woof. Okay, we're here at the end screen, and yeah, it performed about how I expected. Vice Madame is unfortunately it's not that good. A non-targeting destruction is good and all, but with the negation coming from the main deck, why would you have Vice Madame instead? This feels like a trap. You are only really running this if you're a fan of the archetype, but not you're not going to be running Vice Madame in the competitive sense. Again, the non-targeting destruction, the special summon from the hand or deck, and the once per turn spell trap search is good and all, but if your extra deck monster cannot do more than that, then what's the point? There are also like builds of this deck that don't run an extra deck at all. The extra deck is just air, and then they would run Pot of Prosperity or Pot of Extravagance instead, because this deck is extremely hungry for cards. You want to have as many resources available to you as possible, and get them into and out of rotation, because VERRE is essentially your win con at that point. VERRE and Hain even. More than your extra deck, unfortunately. So yeah, it's fun to play this deck. Don't get me wrong, but it's honestly way too slow for the current meta. Unless they give us support that is honestly stronger than what Vice Madame offers here, Witchcrafters will just be relegated to casual waifu archetypes. That's honestly sad to hear. So if you like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.